My parents got very involved in the secular part of Yiddish life as soon as we moved. My mother's sister, older sister, Sarah, was active in something called the Sholem Aleichem Institute, which had a Yiddish school after regular school. So I started going to the Sholem Aleichem Institute, I think 4 afternoons a week, studying the Yiddish language and history and literature and grammar and all that stuff. So I was always sort of semi-fluent in the Yiddish language. We then switched for a variety of reasons a couple of years later. My parents became very active in the Workmen circle, the Arbeter, and they had a school. So we switched from the Sholem, my brother and I switched from the Sholem Aleichem Institute school to the Workmen Circle school, and I spent the rest of my high school, elementary school, intermediate school, and high school days going to the Workmen Circle school afterward. And again, the Workmen Circle school celebrated all the holidays. We had Hanukkah parties, we had Purim parties. The teachers, I remember them very clearly. We called them Chaver something. Chaver is the Hebrew word for friend, but so the convention was you called them Chaver Ben-Dor, Chaver Kamai, Chaver Har, whatever their last names were. A couple of them, I think, were in fact career Yiddish teachers. In other words, they made their living teaching in Yiddish schools. But some of them, I think, had other jobs, and they were just sort of part-time work as Yiddish teachers. They were all men in my generation. There were no women. I remember them as sort of intellectual types, serious types. One of them, a tall man, Ben-Dor was his name. Ben-Dor, son of a generation. It was a pen name. It wasn't his real name. I never knew what his real name was, but he went by the name of Ben-Dor. I remember him as having a somber mien, and they would. One of my father's favorite expressions in Yiddish that had to do with education in general, where he would say, "Man darf sie reinhacken in Kopf." You have to bang it into their heads. When I was raising my kids, he wanted me to make sure that I was banging into their heads whatever they needed to get for education. He meant it in a nice way. But that's reinhaken in Kopf. Well, Ben-Dor and all those guys, they reinhacked it in my cup, you know. But it was a very important part of my life. I think they were trying to get me to understand the history of the Jews, the richness of the cultural heritage and the literary heritage and the philosophical heritage of the Jews. I mean, we read books. The history book was written by Dubnov. Shimon Dubnov was one of the famous historians. I don't remember the names of some of the other authors of some of the books, but this was serious stuff. They were trying to instill, I think, without consciously talking about it, a sense of pride in our heritage.